Rookie of the month.
It's been great.
Triple doubles, record-breaking performances, and a whole lot of controversy. Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut is like nothing we've seen before. But while some are cheering, others are seething. What's the deal with Angel Reese fans? Let's break down why Clark's success is causing such an uproar. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. You think you've seen everything, but then Clark does something genuinely amazing. We are discussing a performance that is utterly shattering expectations in addition to drawing attention. What has she done to earn the admiration of even her most critical critics?
Clark being watched by Nurse. Clark on the drive. Clark hangs and banks it home.
You know, she's been playing and doing things and just getting an understanding of the league. Every game she gets a little bit better. Every game she gets a little bit understanding of, you know, the speed and the quickness.
Clark with the hesitation. Clark gets inside and lays it in. Instead of turning it over.
Imagine a triple-double that's dropping jaws all over the place. Not only is Clark's most recent game amazing, but it's also historic. She has been scoring points like they're disappearing. She has been on a roll. In her most recent games, she has scored 29, 23, 20, 31, 28, and 24 points. The shocking thing is that it's not all about the points. What's really drawing attention is Clark's all-around skill set. Okay, but haven't we seen rookies light up the scoreboard before? You may be asking yourself. Yes, but Clark's influence extends far beyond the scorecard. The record for her team, a startling 7-1 in the previous games. That's championship caliber performance, not just good. This is when the exciting part starts. There are some major legends being compared to Clark's gameplay. We're talking about all-time sports icons here, not just WNBA greats. A critic even compared her influence to that of Tom Brady. Yes, that Tom Brady, the man whose presence improves everyone around him. That is the type of company Clark is currently maintaining. However, let's take a moment to discuss those doubters. You know, the people who dismiss Clark's possible influence right away, they have fallen eerily silent. It seems as though Clark used all of those uncertainties as motivation for her strategy. Every pass, every dribble, every shot, it seems as though she's trying to prove something and demonstrate what she possesses. An onlooker summarized it nicely when they said, "We're watching something, folks, right here. This is not mere hyperbole. We are seeing the forging of history. Clark is performing like a seasoned veteran with years of experience under her belt. Not simply well for a rookie. Consider this. How frequently do you witness a player enter a league and alter the rules of the game right away? In any sport, let alone the WNBA, where skill levels are so high, it's extremely uncommon. That's precisely what Clark is doing though. She's not simply adjusting to the professional game, she's making it adjust to her. Perhaps you're asking yourself, this all sounds great, but can she keep it up? The question that matters greatly is that. The problem is that Clark doesn't appear to be slowing down at all. She appears to be improving with each game, if anything. She appears to have discovered a hidden cheat code that enables her to view the game in slow motion, while everyone else is playing at a regular pace. Not only is Clark shattering records, but he's also breaking the internet with his accomplishment. A single tweet from a legendary basketball player has ignited a heated controversy that is splitting the WNBA community. Why is there suddenly such a backlash? The WNBA veteran Lisa Leslie gave her initial views on the Rookie of the Year competition. Her post, which had an incredible 4.1 million views, went viral and suggested that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should win the award.
I don't care what comparisons you make. Both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark deserve Rookie of the Year award. The pressure and weight of this season has forever changed the WNBA. Both rookies rose to the top and exceeded all our expectations.
She said about how transcendent this class is and these two young ladies are, but you're not splitting the vote. Angel Reese, in any other year, probably wins Rookie of the Year. Not this year. Caitlin Clark has proved to the rest of us that she is the best player in this rookie class.
However, rather of clearing the air, it sparked a storm that threatens to eclipse Clark's amazing accomplishments. Perhaps you're asking yourself, what's the big deal? Isn't it beneficial to share an award? That's where things become tricky though. Many have taken Leslie's remarks to be a disdainful assessment of Clark's outstanding achievement. It would be the same of saying, yeah, you're awesome, but don't forget about the other rookie. How did admirers of Angel Reese respond? To put it mildly, they're not content. A large number of them have turned to social media to accuse Leslie and other people of racism. They contend that the effort to boost Reese unfairly and minimize Clark's contributions is behind the drive for a co-Rookie of the Year honor. This is where things become really fascinating though. It's no longer simply about these two outstanding rookies. It's spurred a wider discussion about bias and recognition in women's basketball. In what ways do we appreciate various skills? Is all-around play more significant than rebounding? Fans and experts alike are divided by these questions. Let's dissect it for a moment. Clark is one player that has been dominating scoreboards and dishing out assists as if they were going out of style. Reese, a rebounding machine who has been controlling the boards, is the player on the other side. You know, it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges. Several admirers claim that this is untrue. They contend that there are inherent flaws in this comparison. They claim that Clark has a different caliber of all-around player. She's improving her team as a whole, not just herself. Reese's admirers, meanwhile, emphasize that her exceptional rebounding is a game-changing ability that merits equal praise. The real performances of both players are being overshadowed by the intense argument. Rather than uniting to celebrate these two extraordinary talents, supporters are at odds over who should receive greater attention. It seems as though we are no longer able to simply enjoy the game. Everything must also be a competition off the court. But first, let's stand back for a bit. What does the state of women's basketball actually tell us about this controversy? It demonstrates, to start with, how devoted WNBA supporters are. They're not just watching the games, they're also dissecting every detail, including the analytics, the accolades, and the remarks on social media. It also draws attention to the continuous fight for acceptance in women's sports. Every honor, every commendation seems to have more significance. It's important to demonstrate the worth of the league as a whole, not merely to celebrate outstanding individuals. Perhaps this is the reason this argument has become so heated. It isn't truly about Reese versus Clark. It has to do with what we think makes an athlete truly great, how we define success, and who gets to make those decisions. However, the rivalry amongst rookies, it's going to take on a whole new dimension. The basketball world is in flames after a sports broadcaster revealed shocking information, just when you thought the discussion couldn't get much hotter. What is it that he said that has everyone chatting? Let me introduce you to Jason Whitlock, a man renowned for his candid remarks. His statement that is making waves has put a kink into the Rookie of the Year discussion. Whitlock blasted off, "This ain't little kid participation trophies," mocking the notion of joint Rookie of the Year honors. His statements, they act as fuel on a fire that is already well underway. You may be asking yourself, why is everyone so upset about one comment? It's not just about the remark though, it concerns what it stands for. Whitlock's remarks have highlighted an increasing consensus among experts and fans. Caitlin Clark is the clear favorite to win Rookie of the Year. You would think that this would be a reason to rejoice, wouldn't you? After all, Clark has been lighting up the court. This is where it becomes complicated though. Supporters of Angel Reese are extremely irritated by this unanimity. They're furious rather than just disappointed. Why such a strong response? It goes beyond who wins a prize. A box of worms about player recognition in women's basketball is being opened by this debate. It's making us pose some challenging queries. What quality in a player do we value most? Is it general talent similar to Clark's? Is it a form of elite specialization similar to Reese's skill at rebounding? Consider it. Like a Swiss Army knife, Clark's game has a tool for every circumstance. She is contributing points and assists, among other things. However, Reese, she is an incredible rebounder who controls the boards with ease. How can two players with such disparate styles be compared? This is no longer just about Clark and Reese. It has to do with women's basketball honors itself. Do we need to acknowledge overall impact, certain abilities, group achievement? We're being forced by the discussion to reevaluate our standards for what constitutes a great sport. Not to be overlooked is the emotional aspect of this. For a lot of supporters, this goes beyond basketball. It has to do with recognition, identification, and representation. Whitlock is referring to more than just awards when he brushes off the notion of co-winners. He's speaking to deeper themes that many WNBA fans may relate to. The WNBA fan base's fervor is evident in the response to Whitlock's remarks. They are not merely casual spectators of the game. They have a strong interest in the game and examine every facet of it, including media coverage and statistics. This degree of involvement, it's evidence of women's basketball's increasing appeal. The issue is, though, that even as this argument heats up, Clark and Reese are still playing amazing basketball. Reese is grabbing rebounds like there's no tomorrow, while Clark is still dishing up baskets and assists. They are letting the gameplay speak for itself. What does this leave us with then? The Rookie of the Year race is becoming into something more than a contest as the season goes on. It's turning into a vote on the principles that guide women's basketball. Which should we value more? Specialization or versatility? Individual genius or collective influence? These are the issues that will determine how the sport develops in the future.